I never knew you had hair. Where?
Maybe you think it's all about gambling.
A day trader is someone who missed the bus to Atlantic City, it seems to me. And if it wasn't for this, they're pulling slot machines and throwing dice.
Maybe you think it's all about greed.
Unbelievable. It's kind of like a drug, I think.
Then maybe you should remember that every day trader has a mother who loves him.
I'd like to see him out of the house. You know, he's 27 years old. I'd like to see him get married.
You know, hopefully I'm gonna make 4 times what my dad made this year. It took him 25 years to get to this point.
He's waiting, he's saving up to get him a ring. I mean, I assume he's not making enough.
I should make 4 times what he made this year if I keep up what I'm doing right now. To me, that's ludicrous, that I can do that.
He always tells me, I should have done this, I would have done that, I could have got that. And we go through this every day, and I tell him, get a job.
Tonight, day trader. Life in the very fast lane.
From ABC News, this is Nightline. Reporting from Washington, Ted Koppel.
They held a memorial service in Atlanta today for all the people killed by Mark Barton, but this is not a program about them or him. I mention that only because this is a program about day traders, and he was a day trader. There's been some speculation that the pressure of Barton's financial losses could have been a factor in pushing him over the edge, but there have been plenty of tragedies that flowed out of people losing their money in Vegas or Atlantic City, and all the casinos are still open. No, what the Barton story did do is focus even more attention on what happens when the individual investor gets to harness the power of a high-speed computer to the process of making and losing large sums of money more quickly than it's ever been done before. Independent reporter and videographer David Turicamo first became intrigued by that proposition a couple of months back. Who are these day traders and why do they do it? Well, many of them, as you will hear later on, are former commodities traders who miss the action. But some are just exactly what you'd expect. Young people who see a chance to make a fast buck.
This is Kenny Glick, 27 years old. He's a day trader. Yeah, I know you've heard a lot about day trading lately, but actually, Kenny does pretty well. Probably makes about 6 figures a year, though he won't tell me exactly. But Kenny's got a bigger problem, and it's not about whether his stocks go up or down. No, Kenny's problem is, well, talk to his mother.
What is it your son does?
If you ask me, I don't even know. I tell him, go get himself a job. And he tells me he's got a job. He gets very upset when I tell him I don't think he's got a job. Yeah. To me, a job is get up, you work from 9 to 5, you have medical coverage, you're getting a set salary, you have a boss. To me, this is not a job.
So all she knows is that I buy and sell stocks somehow. She doesn't understand who I buy them from. She doesn't understand who I sell them to. Why is anybody buying them from me? She wants to know, you know?
And I said to him, like, what happens if, God forbid, he gets injured or something happens in the stock market? You know, he has nothing to fall back on, except, of course, I'm letting him live here for nothing. I keep telling him, make the money, get engaged, and get out of the house. And he's still here. I guess I treat him too good. Yeah.
Several things created day trading, not just greed. It's a combination of the internet and technology, 17-year bull market, and changes in the securities trading regulations.
How many people you got here? It's about 125. We're going to open up another 70 stations next week, and I think we'll fill them pretty quickly.
This is one of the biggest operations, Broadway trading. In order to trade here, you have to take a week-long seminar.
Unfortunately, a lot of people in day trading jump into this without really understanding what they're getting into. And the good
Mark Friedfertig not only runs Broadway trading, but he wrote the best-selling Bible of the industry.
The first book sold 120,000 copies, and perhaps more impressive is we get 40, 50, I think the number's in the 60s now, of inquiries every day from people that read the book that want to learn more.
But if you want to get through this learning curve, don't lose more than $5,000 in any given month.
Most of these people here are people who've been on the internet, investors of some kind, day trading in some facet. I mean, these people aren't just novices coming out the street. I mean, but basically they're trying to step up their level of trading to become somebody who trades professionally, does it, focuses on it 100%, and they don't have another job to focus on it. You also get guys that come from the commodities bits, because the commodities markets are dead right now. We have low inflation, commodities have been going down, so there's not a lot of volatility and not a lot of opportunity to make money down there.
Okay. Now, look what's going on at Microsoft.
See, even though there are all these stories about housewives and dentists and cab drivers who chuck it all to become day traders, this guy was the only person I met who didn't have some kind of background on Wall Street. Luis was an engineer with an oil company.
Well, there's no logic to the market anymore. I've been following the market for more than 20 years, and it used to be that you could buy a share basically on what it's worth. But when you have companies that are just a bunch of screens and keyboards and servers that are worth more than huge corporations, things don't make sense anymore. It's kind of like a drug, I think. And it's pretty hard to get away from that screen.
Really?
There's the opening bell. We begin trading on the New York Stock.
Ray Dove sits next to Kenny, and he's typical of the sort you meet here. I watched him at work one morning.
I went to college with anticipation of getting a bachelor's of science in computer programming. That was a little boring for me. I didn't really like it, so I switched to accounting, which was still a little bit boring, especially working for a large corporation.
On an average morning, Ray will make as many as 50 round trips, 50 purchases and sales.
On a good period in the market where I'm really heavy, I'll very easily go to about $1 million in equity at one time in positions. And I don't even blink an eye. It doesn't bother me.
5 minutes ago, I told you I should stop trading. Now I've sat back down, I've lost money. Whenever you think something, go with your first instinct.